I don't want to say Acor's had a quiet game because he hasn't had to really do much since Gamer Legion had everything they wanted in the first half, and that op on the T side obviously sometimes can be a little bit quiet, especially when your AKs are finding so much success, but that's a cool way for the Opera to get into things for the CT side. Slow-paced progression up Banana. Just over a minute left on the clock, and 9Z have already picked their final play. It's going to be a set execute towards the B-bomb site. Utility being dropped. I think they want to go back and take bracket controls or some kind of presence in middle when the mid-smoke fades, just to make sure this defense stays honest. Make them second-guess things. Ooh, is this a fake, or it could be a double fake even?
I think this is going to be an execution. I mean, they've cleared new box.
Buddha's in here alone.
He is alone. Yeah, okay, bomb's going back. Bomb's going back. But Buddha's finding kills. He goes down immediately after, and the call's going to be made, and they notice it. They notice that there's no aggression behind him. They even had clear vision toward the top of Banana, so they're on the horse.
Bomb's going solo wrap. Bomb's going solo wrap. That's an issue.
Yeah, especially because they're arriving. They're going to be spotting him. They're going to see him absolutely right now. I was going to say Acor's got it. Bomb goes down. It's back point for Gamer Legion, and maybe they got a little bit too far advanced on that one, a little bit too far ahead of themselves.
Yeah, maybe a little fancy, trying to bust out a fake in that situation. Buddha gave him what they wanted as well, 1 kill. But it doesn't force any movement at the A bomb site because 3 players were already at B. They still felt very comfortable in the defense they had. 9 match points for Gamer Legion to close this one out.
Shot down with the AWP, not able to succeed in finding a target. Preemptive almost in his quick peek. Kia's just waiting to see if there'll be anything toward him on this second op in the round. So much damage, but unwavering. He still holds and fires through the wall. He's got to be so careful not to get caught by a stray bullet even through that wall, or even one more nade, but fortunately for his sake, there isn't any. There is a Molotov left for NQC. The rest has been used and deployed. 9Z not with a lot left to work with on this. If they want to try and execute, tons of smokes already deployed toward top mid.
Buddha again at top Banana. One of the bright spots, one of the few bright spots for 9Z in this game here. Gonna lead the way around the corner. It's Acor's up with low health, and ooh, that's a slow-paced jiggle. Kiaz. That's Kiaz with the AWP, a double op setup for the defense, and he's got the opening kill, missed the follow-up, but plenty of bodies here from Gamer Legion to deal with this.
Spot nearly with the smoke out. Kiaz has to be careful. He's just going to stay hidden behind the pillar. That's going to let Shui go to work. He finds 2. That's plenty in this situation because now they have a 2-man advantage with 4 players remaining at NQZ that drops. It's all on DGT. And I think this one's going the way of Gamer Legion. At a 16-6 scoreline, IEM fittingly closes it out, and that is a performance from Gamer Legion to start off this Rio Major.
Yeah, you got to be very pleased about that one if you're Gamer Legion. Obviously, a young roster, tough playing in this environment against the crowd, and they make it look easy. Well done. Zach's trying to give his teammates a little bit of motivation, saying, guys, that's just one game. We got plenty more. Remember what this felt like. Remember the nerves. Remember that you got over them a little bit in the second half. We're going to come back later on in the day. They'll have another chance at it, but a good win from Gamer Legion. We're up to a break, and we'll be back with more Counter-Strike afterwards.
Another 3K. He's pressing forward. He'll find another. On for the ace. His second on the map.
It's at the right time. Brokey's all trying to deliver, but they're not ready for it.
you. Just kills everybody. Another 3K. Keeps pressing forward. He'll find another. On for the ace. His second on the map.
At the right time, Brokey's all trying to deliver, but they're not ready for it. Brokey!
Sorry. I hope you can hear me better now. You should hear me better now. I think. Hi, can you hear me? If you can hear me better, please tell me. Let's say, yeah, say something to me, so you know that. I hope you can hear me better now. You should hear me better now. I think. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, it is what it is.
Behind the smokes, they're locked out, a man down, bomb already planted. This is a definitive save call if you've ever seen one, and that's 15 for Mouse, locked, loaded, and ready to go.
Dude, Dex's pathing into B in both of these XX has been really sick. He did it again, dude. He runs close to the wall, and he climbs up on that little lip as well. Ouch. Even for the final shot,
cool.
He's gone, but who cares? You took the AWPer out.
Behind
we'll
the
get
smokes,
saved,
they're locked out, a man down, bomb already
dude,
planted.
The was sick because mainly because they avoided the spam, right? Like that spam should really get a kill on a crossing player through pool, but he just jumps over it and then plants in the bloody open. Harry, not even seen behind the fountain. It's so unorthodox. Malzo had no problem shredding outsiders in this T side, yet to lose a round. 6 in a row, and this is it. This is closing time, baby. This is Mal's about to
press
like fools.
Actually,
I mean, considering we literally have data on this map for a matter of weeks ago, it's like, this feels like an underperform from outsiders, and at the same time, Mao's just coming into this, giving it 100%. Like from the get-go, they're already in 6th gear.
My card doesn't even have 6.
I know.
How have they done that?
They've added an extra one. Torshi with his AWP, taking it up towards Altmigger to join Zershin and JDC. They have their eyes set over towards A. Also, Banana's been taken while all this has gone on. While Maus have been working the apartments in alt mid. If they do look to go ahead and retake this Banana control, they are going to be walking into a bit of a triple lean here. Jane even boosted on the half wall. Outsiders are very much poised to fight here. There's no, playing a long game on this one. They are fighting every step of the way, and that's not the start they wanted. Oh, it's gone even worse. Fame dropped. Jane does what he can to bring it back, but Frozen's on a tear.
Watch
2 to
this.
his name right now, and a third man at the sandbags deleted. Frozen's opened up B. And Maus, they don't even have to take the bait on this one. They don't even have to commit to it. They forced a rush smoke out of the outsiders. It's ugly every step of the way, and Maus aren't even going B.
Oh, Norbert's gone. That's it. That might be the game. Flick can't do a thing about it. He's running a rotation. Zershin through the smoke doesn't even commit. And Frozen has gone freak mode in this game. 22-7. That triple entry up Banana was beautiful, and it's done. 16 rounds to Maus, and they take down the outsiders with ease. Not a competition, not a question. Maus are here to play in Rio.
The Harry is crazy. Now I have one, right? I don't know. Let's hope they win the shit. Let's hope.
Huge feat for Game Legion to get that 1-0. I do want to spin it back to the point about Acor though, because Peacemaker, you were bringing up the point that, you know, we would look to him at the RMR as being a huge difference maker for Game Legion. I guess this kind of spells good things for the team going forward, that they don't even need what we were arguably saying is their star player to be showing up to win these games dominantly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the fact that they played Inferno, right, and they sat at T side, it's kind of rough for Alper sometimes on the T side of Inferno. You know, there's not many peaks you can go for and stuff like that. So I guess they were so good, strategically speaking, like in terms of like, you know, the way they control Banana, the way they took middle, and they're trading off each other really well. So, you know, it basically wasn't even needed. Like Acor was just there as a support Alper, doing his thing. You know, he didn't play bad at all. It was just like, he didn't have to do anything. Like his teammates were just stepping up and doing everything for him.
In terms of 90 and kind of perhaps the issues you saw, maybe teething issues, getting used to this new environment, the new atmosphere, playing in front of the crowd as well for the first stage, what would you kind of put down as maybe the biggest issue for them to get that momentum going early on?
I think they got really timid and shy at the very beginning of the game. They trying to take a couple of duels, they got shut down, and then they reverted into a very passive mode that they couldn't handle.
Let's finish
they
what
didn't
Bruce
know how to
started.
play the passive. But I want to put a spin on this story. Because if you're a Brazilian representative, sounds like American representative, the thing that you fear the most is go on stage and disappoint people and get smacked. Well, guess what? It happened. That is it. Body behind you, and you got absolutely rolled. And life goes on. And you can show up tomorrow and you can play a better Counter-Strike. So it's kind of a face your nightmare. This is it. You've lived through the worst possible. You've lived through the worst possible first experience on the stage. You've let everybody down. But life goes on. And you're not afraid of that anymore. You show up tomorrow and say,
They're not afraid.
it happened, that's fine. So I hope they can.
What's happening? Where? Where's the music?
When they try to go aggressive and all that kind of stuff. So I think the first thing they should do is definitely watch that game. And, you know, having played Inferno,
That shit is destroying my...
understand like, okay guys, what happened? Like, are we bad on the map, or they played great, we didn't maybe do the things we're supposed to do, we didn't play out of our comfortable zone and stuff like that. I think it's very important to understand what happened in this game. Don't overthink it, because like if they go on the route of like, oh, let's not play Inferno again, then suddenly they are, you know, with no map pool. Like, what we're gonna play? Like, we're gonna basically start banning one of our best maps just because we lost this game.
Yeah.
And that's where I join him, actually. I don't believe that 9Z have a bad Inferno. I don't think that's what happened. I think they showed us the worst that they could on that map. And it's a map they could still replay in the tournament with a different kind of mindset, a different kind of mentality going into this. We talked about being too passive, that's one problem. Too individualistic as well. You know, when you see the scoreline just piling up against you, you're trying to take one-for-one duels. There was no synergy, not playing off of each other. But I don't think it's got nothing to do with the map. It's a problem how you approach the game. Could have been the case on Dust 2 or Mirage or Overpass. Don't overthink it. Just play better Counter-Strike. Inferno was not the reason.
Well, despite unfortunately losing their first game here on stage at the IEM Rio Major, we do have the coach with James Banks for a few words after that series.
9Z were unable to take down Game Legion. I've got Zach with me here to start off with. Now, opening game, right, the crowd certainly on your side, but did you feel like there was a change in your players, some nervousness? What was going on in that game?
100%. I felt that they were nervous and anxious to play. I think anxious is good, but it can also be very bad for you. I think we lost the pistol round, and that cost us much more of the calmness we had, which was very little. So I think for the first match we were very nervous, but I think the second one is going to be better.
And do you think that this whole thing's a good experience? Because one thing we noticed, right, you've got the one round on the first half, you're down obviously massively at that point, but the whole crowd erupts, it looks good. But then even I'm looking at the camera faces of your players, and that you start to think, okay, they're unsure of their decision making. What did you say to them during the first half after you had that break?
Well, I said that we hadn't been there before many times. Like that was the only comeback we didn't make. Like 14-1, we did 13-2, but never 14-1. So let's do another one. And you know, they were nervous, but they knew that it was something that could happen in the first match. So they're good for the next one, I think.
I like that. You're still staying confident with it all. Obviously, you won't know who you're facing just yet. But what are you going to do in this next bit of time while you're waiting for the next game? You're going to take some time to relax? You're just going to be able to refocus?
Oh, actually, we're going to go back to the hotel, and I think we're going to practice a little bit. Just a little bit, just to stay in shape, because it's going to be a long day. And we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. We'll keep that grind going. Zach, thank you very much, man.
Thank you very much for that one, Banks. And props to Zach for giving us a few words despite losing out in their opening matchup. But speaking of opening games, we do have another one on the cards coming up very shortly. And as we see on screen, it's Brazilian representation once again. 0-0 Nation are going to be rising to take on the Bad News Eagles, and it's coming up after this.
This crosser I like.
Gunsball up. Here's the execution. Rigon does not finish out the round alive, but he certainly starts the round the way he has this entire game. 2 kills for him. It's all on Norway to keep this one alive. And the Flames in front of him knows the situation well. They'll cross toward the site and plant the bomb, making it even more problematic. Synopsy closes it. The Bad News Eagles in an absolutely dominant fashion on the road.
Time for the Eagles to rise once again, and we know how much hype they can bring to the server. But now Machu may be tougher skies for them to be flying through, because 0-0 Nation are their first opponents up on the docket, and we all know what that means. Another Brazilian team in front of this beautiful crowd. The pressure is certainly on for BNE.
The pressure absolutely is on, but I think as a team, BNE are such knit tight. They're such a unit. They're so strong together.
Yeah.
I think they might have the shoulders needed to sustain that pressure, to sustain the crowd, because you can see it on this.
Let's roll.
Hello. Here's the execution. Rigon does not. He starts the round the way he has this entire game. 2 kills for him. All on Norway to keep this one alive. And the Flames in front of him knows the situation
We will
well.
defeat the mercenaries.
The site and plant the bomb, making it even more problematic. Synopsy closes in. The Bad News Eagles in an absolutely dominant fashion on the road.
Again, and we know how much hype they can bring to the server. But now Machu may be tougher skies for them to be flying through, because 0-0 Nation are their first opponents up on the docket, and we all know what that means. Another Brazilian team in front of this beautiful crowd. The pressure is certainly on for BNE.
The pressure absolutely is on, but I think as a team, BNE are such knit-tight. They're such a unit. They're so strong together.
Yeah.
I think they might have the shoulders needed to sustain that pressure, to sustain the crowd, because you could see it on these footages, right? The way they experience the game. They might be the most Brazilian, non-Brazilian team out there. I feel like they have this vibe to it, right? They just go in this together, they shout around. That's their way of playing Counter-Strike. And I think it's all they need. I think they need to be soldiers together, and that's what they've shown us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that like they have shown this kind of like a brotherhood kind of thing in the team,
absolutely.
right? And not only that, but I was even thinking that, you know, if they're not playing against a Brazilian team right now, I think those are the guys that, you know, the crowd is going to love them. Because of the passion they put into the game, you know, the energy they have. I think, yeah, as you said, like they're kind of like Brazilians, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, it truly is a pack mentality for BNE coming forward. But I think what is so special about this team is the fact that we have Taco and coldzera, huge veterans of the Brazilian scene, taking to the stage today.
I think the symbolic of that team is beautiful. It's the past reaching out and holding the hand of the future. That's what's happening. It's players who been and still are legends of the games, taking on new prospects, mentoring, tutoring for the future. It's the likes of Taco, coldzera, of course. coldzera, arguably the greatest player Brazil's ever had. Now having to transition into a new role. He isn't the absolute lights out, super hard character we all love to see. Now he's got players around him that he needs to mentor, and I think it's
yeah, for sure. I think that people also I think some people undervalue a little bit the value like of Cold to the team, you know, because as you said, he changed his roles completely to make sure that, you know, the younger players get to play completely in their comfortable zone. So for him to do that, you know, it shows how much he wants to win, how much he wants to create a successful project, right? And also one thing that we highlight is just Taco, right? Like we can't forget the fact that Taco as a legend, right? It's not something that he was comfortable with at the beginning, and he always had Fallen as a leader for his teams, you know, who probably helped a lot. And just the fact that Taco is able to, you know, lead this team and do everything is just incredible. Yeah.
Well, you speak of Taco. Let's get some words from him, courtesy of Banks, head of the series.
I got 0. We're in your home. It's a special major, but I want to start by asking, the 3 younger players on your team, how are they feeling coming into this? Because you and Cole know what it's like.
They are feeling great. Everyone's feeling great, actually. We've been working with also psychologists since the start of the month. I mean, last month. And he's doing an amazing job with the entire team, so everyone is really calm and relaxed to just enjoy the moment. That's what we want. That's right. And in terms of the game you've got today against Bad News Eagles, would you say they remind you a bit of this Brazilian style? They play so aggressive, so fast-paced? Yes, they are definitely a team that plays very, very aggressive. But that's not something that we are not used to. They had a play very similar well. That's very accurate. But I mean, they have the way of. It's going to be a very difficult game.
So you say it's going to be a difficult game, but do you feel like you've got a good read on it? You've got a good read?
Yes, we had after the IEM, we had some extra time to watch the demos and go over their game and the way they like to play. So we could prepare very well for this game, and we know what to do. The game plan is already on everybody's head, and they just want to join the 7 now and pop some heads.
Well, let's see that happen, Taco. Thank you very much, bro.
One thing is for certain, this is going to be an absolute brawl coming into the arena. We can see the Macro fans are rolling down the bottom screen. Obviously, the best one. Interesting. You've spoken about the veteran side of 00 Nation. Any of the newcomers that you want to put under the spotlight?
Well, I like that you asked the question, Freya, because I think that the limits, I think the horizon is set by the young stars of 00 Nation, and this is how we can assess that team. We're going to have Vertigo as a map coming in, but Dumao and Try are the 2 players who are going to set the path for 00 Nation, as simple as it is. If these 2 will find their groove here at the major, suddenly I think we could be just limitless in what we see from Zero's Nation. But if they falter, if they get shy, if they get timid, fragile, that might be a complicated event.
Yeah, for sure. I would even highlight like Dumao, you know, I think just because of the role he has in the team. I think the thing with these two young players is that at least so far they have been putting up really good numbers. Like they have been stepping up their game in every single series that I saw. So having those two young players shining all the time while having the experience on Cold Zero, Taco, you know, that does help. Taco on calling out better, you know, he's not gonna need to do anything crazy and stuff like that.
The crowd is going to be treating 0-0 Nation slightly differently, maybe a slightly different outcome than what we saw versus 90 earlier.
I think they're going to be just that and more. I think they're going to be 100% with 0-0 Nation. Every single kill a 0-0 Nation will find, BNE will be screamed at. And I've had the pleasure as a player to be against the crowd. It's not something that I wish for you to be in there. So I hope they got the shoulders, they got the nerves for that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I mean, we can already hear the crowd going.
It's insane.
Right?
The game hasn't even started yet, and they're already absolutely chanting their hearts out. I hope they keep their voices quelled, though, because we've got a hell of a lot more counter-track coming up. I just want to ask you, Peacemaker, for BNE coming into Vertigo, anything that you're particularly looking at for that particular game?
No, I think that like they, for Nation, they barely played Vertigo in the past 2 months, right? So they do have the surprise stuff in the that means they would have a lot of rely on, you know. While in the other hand, 0-0 Nation probably has a lot to go on. So I think that does give them an advantage. And to be honest, like these players usually perform really well on Vertigo, like for 0-0 Nation. So I'm expecting a really close game and a really fun match. Yeah.
Well, Vertigo is going to be the map that's coming to fruition between 0-0 Nation and Bad News Eagles. Sadie Costa might not be super happy about that one, not being part of the Vertigo gang, but definitely nothing to be sad about coming into this matchup. It's 0-0 Nation taking on BNE. Guys, take it away.
The Vertigang's got nothing on the Tuscany cartel, baby. We're going to take it all down. It's coming our way. But yeah, I'll put up with it, all right? Because we've got two of the iconics, the legendary Brazilians that have brought this scene so much. Taco and Cold Zero in the server in Rio.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Let's see what they've got in store for us, surrounded by some young Brazilians as well. Against the Bad News Eagles, this round is live here on Vertigo. Things starting off slow, things starting off calculated. As Double Nation wants to see if there's going to be any aggression from the CT side, nothing as of yet. So calm before the storm.
Later we'll go over and try.
AFK every time.
The ramp. One flat through is one that's cast and spotting this out immediately. BNE, another team that was quite impressive on the road to Rio in Europe. Put up some big numbers in games I don't think people would have expected much from them. To a major one, flat true is still spotting, still trying to see if anyone's going to come here. Very slow take so far from Double Nation.
Yeah, they're making sure they don't miss any details. Here's going to be a little flashbang from Taco just to take the angle away from Juan Flatro. Ooh, a little bit of damage done. He's going to start backing away. Here's the footsteps. And Double Nation now starting to apply a little bit of pressure, but there's a trap set up behind sandbags. Good Molotov, but GXX has got a better headshot.
Huge kill from GXX because Try was waiting. He pushed one flat true back. He had the position at scaffolding, but as soon as GXX went down, that was one flat true move. He'd have to turn his attention back in that direction, and one flat true is going to catch Taco out. Saneri gets Cold Zero. Both of those players. That was a really well-timed retake for that scaffold position on the back of GXX's kill. And Bad News Eagles will take the opening round. Good shot by Rigon to confirm it.
Yeah, really well done. Really well done from Bad News Eagles, holding their nerve. That is a beautiful sight for day one of the Challenger stage. Absolutely magnificent. We've got it all. Now we just need the Brazilian teams to win. 1-0. And a complete investment for Double Nation. Tech9's Eagles utility as well. Moss going to slow things down. Disorganize the hit just a little bit. Lado doesn't want to turn the corner, takes his time with it. Oh man, the covering fire from the Tech9s, and Taco's found the opening.
Good shot from Taco. Getting back away as well, running and gunning with the Tech-9. The damage is there. Bomb's going to get planted for
Bad
Double
eagle.
Nation. They've got a chance to capitalize on this. Smokes could actually let these pistols get so close and so punishing. Falco's going to reload it, but we already saw the Lottos moved up the way as well. I think you're absolutely right. I think they have to back off of this. They haven't got a kill yet. Oh, Synopsy's in such a tough position. They jump in. Regon takes away the aggro. That means they can push. Good shot, Taco, but he's going to double up on that. And now the advantage. Look at the HP. This is done. Double Nation going to tie it immediately.
They absolutely will. Another kill for coldzera to close out the round, and Double Nation steal round 2. That's a round of utility. A very simple, easy hit to gain space up the stairs. The follow-up utility at the electric box of the generator locks out the retake, allows the Tech-9s to get close up. In the danger of those Tech-9s behind the smoke, making it for BNE to start the retake. Perfectly played. And a good opening from Taco. Look how fired up he is right out of the gate. 1-1.
Where?
Down already. Tries going to find him. Flash and smoke. Didn't matter. He knows the angle. He can hear him coming the whole time. M4 sits on the ledge. coldzera, AK in hand, is the next to try and challenge this ramp position. Oh, we'd love to get vintage Cold, wouldn't we? Good boost up. Synopsy able to sit back on this. Waiting for a chance. It's all a bit early though. Tribe is already looking. Might go back to it, expecting that eventually they're going to put themselves in this position. And he gets taken down immediately. Try finds it. Ahead of Synopsy the whole time. Sineri's going to push down, though. That does get one kill back, and a flurry of frags come in because the strike zone is one flat true. The timing is everything, and they'll steal the round right back in their favor.
Oh, that is a gut punch. That is a gut punch because Double Nation, it seemed like they were getting what they wanted. Bad News Eagles just converges at the point of attack, and they swarm. So many bodies. Double Nation never expected this much resistance. Never expected this amount of players to be taking fight after fight. And a great double kill from Juan Flatro to put him in the advantage. 2-1.
By Cold. 2 players on this side. They could have tried to pump the brakes on this. They could have tried to rotate them back over, utilize the ladder even and go toward middle, but GXX, AWP, no mistake, try goes down. coldzera, we're going to need some vintage Cold right now if he wants to win this one out.
I was going
to say they have no idea, but GXX on the angle is going to find it. So 5-1 indeed. I think we know which side the crowd is for in this one, Jason.
Yeah, we do. Well, I think the crowd is still waiting to have that kind of loyalty and that kind of energy rewarded. Quite yet. A flat opening game with 9Z getting trounced by Gamer Legion. And an early deficit for Double Nation now as Bad News Eagles. I mean, this is the style that we all know they love to play in your face. They don't want to give up ground. They're going to come right back at you, not afraid of anything. They play no respect Counter-Strike until you force them to respect you. And at the moment, Double Nation have not quite done that yet. Back to Tech-9s in a P250. Remember as well, so much of the emphasis on Taco and coldzera due to their pedigree. But outside of that, a very inexperienced 3 players along with them.
But that is the rebuild that Brazil's been in.
Yeah, Brazil is a region. It's been very clear these last few years. The old stars are fading. It's time for the new blood to step up, and that's been part of the charm or the rise of Furia. Now it's about who's going to follow Furia's footsteps.
Well, and having this, experience of Taco and Cold is going to help fortify some of that future talent. But right now, that doesn't matter. Right now, what matters is getting kills against BNE. Again, they'll get dismantled at mid as Synopsy finds 2. Good shot from Triad at range. Unfortunately, they already had too many players inside of the site to swarm on Taco, who couldn't capitalize on that opening pick. When they did arrive, it's all on Doomau. Tech-9 in hands. And he's going to reposition just to see if he's being flanked, but they'll continue to hold the front of the site. It does have the bomb to work with, but I don't know with 30 seconds he has the goal to try and rotate that back over and hope for an optimistic plant.
Kill's the name of the game, right? Limit the economic growth. Limit what you can from the money building up behind Bad News Eagles. Unfortunately, they already know his position, so he's not catching anyone off guard. 17 seconds left on the clock.
Here.
He's going to go down here to the position from Synopsy, who's got the final frag, and it's 6-1.
And 3 kills for Synopsy in the round as well, so he's looking sharp as always.
I thought I picked it.
Yeah, 7 for Sceneri, 10 for Juan Flatro, who's had himself a good game as well to start things out in these first 7 rounds of play. Timeout taken. From Double O Nation with this deficit, want to talk things over. Cone gets chucked off the side of the building.
Even the Cones had enough of Vertigo.
Yeah, they went out. They're like, get me out of here.
I'll stop. I'll back off. For now.
For now.
So a 6-1 scoreline, another slow start on stage for the South Americans. But at least have one already to accumulate, and now they'll be back on rifles in this particular round. Duma yet to buy. He'll join his teammates with the AK-47, and it's a decent amount of utility as well. They've got 4 Molotovs and 5 smokes. On top of that, a single nade and a bunch of flashes to work with. They're going to use the first smoke already to try and get toward those B stairs. Sceneri is the one up above it. He's going to drop a nade down. That'll do damage onto coldzera. I spent the entire last 2 weeks studying nade damage, Jason.
Oh yeah, you ready? You're prepared?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You had a rough time of it during the Road to Rio.
Oh, yeah, their compilation of that. It's quite ridiculous. All of Pro League and the Road to Rio.
Yeah, it was a
So the boost up for Dumau and east side of the map so far for 0-0 Nation.
It's a passive defense here as well with utility. Around these corners, Sceneri first contact at Genoa and close this gap. That's an important thing. He's not actually trying to stop the play. He's not actually trying to peek too much at the bumps that he's making. If they need a retake, they have the avenue forward. Unfortunately, that kill from Taco is going to take that option away from him.
Big miss from Cole. Slow to react on the gray screen. One flash really took a single bit of damage from that AK. Try going back around. There's got to be something around here. He's going to go in and make no mistake. The exact mark, meanwhile, though, found Otto. Does get the kill. One flat throw, the damage was there. He's able to collect, and now they have the advantage, but they're trying to find Synopsy, who's nowhere to be found.
Nowhere even close. He might have.
Yeah, DC. He did DC.
I was going to say.
Yeah, his hands were off the keyboard. He was at ramp the whole time, so they'll get one on that. The tech wasn't called. I'm just going to look back. There was nothing. Okay, there was a stop called, but I think it was too late in the round. I didn't see any reaction to that, so they'll call a tech. That one's going to stand. Double O Nation will take their second.
Yeah, that's a rough one to swallow, but still a pretty convincing hit from Double O Nation. At the end of the day, it might not have mattered, but still. What was stolen from you if you're Bad News Eagles?
It's a tough one to debate, right? It depends on when he arrives on this retake.
I didn't see exactly when he crashed in the round.
Taco's kill was actually pretty massive toward the AC because that allowed coldzera to slide up. And Colt missed a shot there. There's no question he's a bit slow on that. Those are from coldzera in his prime. He would never miss, so he's got to get those figured out because that was a really good take and crossfire setup.
Yeah, he's going to be a big engine for this team to overcome some of the inexperience on his 3 teammates rather than in these situations. That was a rough one to drop. You're exactly right. Taco's kill. His second opening kill in similar situations. He had the opening kill in the Tech 9 round. Number 2. Actually won. So Taco doing a good job on those entries towards the B bomb site. We're going to get a little bit of a delay in the action as everyone's waiting for the 5th player to rejoin the server.
Synopsy should be back pretty quickly. I hope he had his headset off. Obviously was communicating with the admins. Totally allowed for him to communicate with him or the coach, or you can communicate with the admin what the issue is. You can't obviously communicate amongst yourselves during a timeout period. And with this much passion in the building, it's going to be so hard for some of these coaches to remain composed during these rounds as well. And remember, at the Valve Major, coaches have to be pretty silent.
And to relax.
Chill's a good word. At some point in time. Should get ready to get back underway soon.
Man, I mean, what a position these tech balls is. You just have to sit there quietly and just experience the energy being chucked your way. 6-2 lead for Bad News Eagles. you're just joining us, this is the opening day of the IEM Rio Major. Here on the main stream, we had Gamer Legion blow out 9Z in the first game. There is a B stream going on as well. Simultaneous matches here at IEM Rio. Mal's won their opening match against Outsiders as well on the B stream.
Yeah, absolutely. And Outsiders, best of ones, okay, they're not always the strongest in those. I'm not worried for them yet dropping down into that bracket already. I think they'll be fine. They lose the second one and go 0-2. But not worried about them as, let's say, I am with 9ZB in that bracket, and it's going to be a lot more uncomfortable for them.
Second match going on right now in conjunction with this one on the B stream is OG taking on Greyhound. OG with a very tough getting to the major experience for that organization.
I'll make it on tonight.
Very emotional qualification for them.
Even score.
Oh my lord, you can do it all.
I think the options there even on mobile nowadays. It just gives you a little pop-up saying click this, and then you can watch them both. It's pretty sweet, the squad screaming. You just click back and forth on which one you want the audio from. So, you know, if you want to go round to round, literally, you can just do that.
Beautiful.
Rather than having to alt-tab and mute or switch monitors, whatever the case may be.
Did you do your pick'ems, Matthew?
I have never, ever in my life done a pick'em. Actually, I should say believe it or not, but no, you definitely would believe it.
Yeah, I definitely believe it.
I did think about it for this event, because I was like, all right, look, I've got time, I can log in, and then I went, you know what? Why start now?
Yeah, I was going to say, at this point, it's principle of the matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, as
you say, Jason, I'm the contrarian.
Yeah, you are. You are the eternal contrarian. I was going to, you know, work that into a whole thing. Greyhound has obviously been a very popular pick for the 0-3 of the pickup that OG's going up against, but, you know, you can't throw me a bone as you haven't done it, so.
No, I couldn't. I don't know why I haven't. It would be nice to see coins on my.
That's right. We'll get it for the legends. I'll sit you down. We'll do it together.
But they need to make it more challenging, because it would be too easy for me. I would just, you know, like, what's it going to do? Add value to my account that I have diving status every single time?
True.
They have to let me pick scores for each and every game. Okay, then we're talking.
Then we're cooking with gas.
Yeah, exactly.
6-2, back into the action. Tech Pause had a tactical timeout taken from Bad News Eagles. Right out of that, probably the coach saying, calm down, don't worry about it. Juan Flatro is going to continue his tear. A double kill. Second one through smoke, cleaning up the deep. Oh, and he's going to add a third. That is so phenomenal.
Yeah, that is a shutdown. Straight out of the tech timeout after a win from 0-0 Nation, looking to finally put 2 rounds in succession together. Try, he's going to double it up. 1 on 5, though. Has a bit of smoke. There's going to be a flank coming in naturally with the timing on this. Oh, he's read it. He's read it well. He does the damage, but couldn't quite hit it. We're going down to 3 HP. Hits that. If he's able to jump off the ledge and reset the round slightly, you'd give him a chance in that.
You give him a puncher's chance, wouldn't you? That could have been interesting.
This was so fast, though.
Yeah, what a sequence. And even time to reload and time to get ready for that third fight. Cold's air around the smoke. The double kill they line up for him, but
fire in the hole.
Near impossible situation to be in. 7-2, you're exactly right. A huge win for Bad News Eagles out of the tech issue, out of the timeout as well. Back on track immediately.
Taco's just going to go through this. He wants to take advantage of the MAC-10. Flash timing, absolutely annihilates him. As he came around the corner, all he could do is pre-fire and hope for the best. Rigon's going to take down Cold, who's been very cold so far to start this game. Only 2 kills so far for him. Same with Dumau, for that matter, and he's going to get removed right now by Synopsy, who equals that total in this round alone, as he's done so many times. So many multi-kills for Synopsy to start off this series.
Bad News Eagles is looking on point. Individually, these guys are accurate at the moment, and they are enough.
Did his score? No, I guess it did reset after the rejoin. I say so many multi-kills. He has a 3-kill round and a 2-kill round, but he only has the 5 kills total, Synopsy.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a reset there on the scoreboard you're looking at. Look at the one of the main screen map. You're looking at the Go TV. You're looking at our fancy side monitors for the minimap.
All right, hang on. Let me. You surprise? Here we come. Okay,
nope, he's got 5 here too.
Making me scroll.
I was
going to say it's 5. Yeah.
All right, well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Try is going to open things up. Good kill on Oregon with the AWP. That's on the other side of the map, away from our vision.
The deaths were correct, right? That was giveaway, Jason.
Okay.
And he has 5 deaths.
Nice.
So it had to be correct. Had to be. We're not very good at deductive reasoning.
No, we're not.
But that's why we just talk about what's in front of us. We're gonna go back around.
I'm just trying to throw him a bone.
The thought you were trying to throw me, to be honest, but I guess it's not all about me.
Bomb has been planted.
Good anticipation from Bad News Eagles. They put the pressure toward mid again early on, try and combat Double O Nation. This is an interesting decision to put 2 here, but that's why one of them has a smoke already at the sandbags.
And if a Molotov goes here, you put it out, and I think one player aggressively swings
And the
to
other
try and
sits.
show the escape, and the other waits, lies in wait. Now, there's only one Molotov. We'll see where he puts it. Synopsy is going to get a little bit wider with an off angle, blinded, and back towards sandbags we go.
Yep, here it is. So the smoke's going to go down. I think you're right. They'll just sit there. He finds it first. Sonari does try and get aggressive on it, and they are waiting. They are waiting. One already can't follow it to find the second. And he has no idea. This is a well-called play, well plotted by you. One Flatcher just sits, and allows them to walk into a trap because that bomb down. They've got a pitch from both sides, and he knows he's got to be there. 9-2.
What a great defense. What a great defense from Bad News Eagles. They hold top of the range, coming in around scaffolding. And when they eventually get the space after taking down GXX, they're just not ready. They're not at a different angle than they were ready to. It's huge defense for Bad News Eagles. Look at this, 2 players they have to contend with, and still the third Juan Flatcher who gets his last kill. How are you ever supposed to read that if you're Double O Nation? An AK-47 on Cold Zera and 4 Deagles to surround it. Double O Nation having a very rough time on Vertigo T side.
First to the crowd.
Fire in the hole. He's going to take out Cold Zera. The round going their way. A 10-2 start. Bad News Eagles can certainly be, I think, a dark horse in this one. I think in the entire event, not just the challenger stage, I think they've been putting in a lot of work and looking really sharp so far.
I think they got a lot of people, regardless of who their fans are, rooting for Bad News Eagles. Been a very compelling story going back to some of the previous performances at the majors back at Antwerp. As they burst onto the scene and showing improvement heading into Rio here. 10-2, 8-round lead for Bad News Eagles.
Easy win for Bad Eagles.
Took out 4s and a 2-1 to qualify in their final match of the RMR to be here.
I'm laying down some smoke.
Also absolutely obliterated Astralis 16-3. And I know, yeah, Astralis aren't here. They deserve to be. They didn't play like they deserve to be, but that is still a huge scoreline for an underdog in that situation.
It's massive. Had to have felt great. Has to feel even better building upon it. Taco again trying to have some influence. Can't find a clean fight. He's had the 2 opening kills, the 2 rounds that Double O Nation have won. His entry kills have provided the 2.
No way.
Counter-terrorists win.
Shit.
Taco was mid because he actually saw that bounce off the skybox. So he knows exactly where that Molotov came from. I don't know if Saneri spotted him there. Okay, he might have because the late nade suggests yeah, the Molotov going down.
Bad News Eagles have really been challenging these beast bears quite frequently, especially when you consider both round wins for Double O Nation have been at that bomb site. Here's Bad News Eagles just saying, okay, look, if you're going to win 2 rounds here, we're just going to prevent you from ever winning.
Last round, sure, they have that sneaky smoke play behind the sandbags, but you also go back to the round where it was pistols, round 4, and they get absolutely caught out by it. Great dink. That's good information as well. Not only did they hear the damage, but they knew they're there. So Rigon's got to be a lot more careful in how he chooses to position himself in defense. He's actually slightly more aggressive and playing that angle at the crane. And a flash from Synopsy to try and activate him in this spot as they do get closer and closer to the top of the site and the top of the ramp. Flash out, Rigon. 2 with that HP. Lotto finally puts him down. That is a massive play, set all the while. And not only, even if he gone down, not only does he get the rotations are on. GXX is unaware that they are in behind his position, but it won't matter. What Flatcho's going to put down.
Time's done.
Dumel, and you're absolutely right. No time to plant. They clean it up 11-2.
Man, Bad News Eagles is playing such a good game. They're not giving any real clean looks to Double O Nation in the start of this round, the early going of these rounds. So, I mean, that time it's just so little utility when Double O Nation eventually pulls the trigger on that A bomb site. Perfect line of sight for GXX with the AWP. And off the back of this double kill, Double O Nation wasn't set up, wasn't ready for it whatsoever. lockdown defense at the moment for Bad News Eagle, and another timeout is called by Double O Nation.
Terrorists win.
Rightfully so. Use these up early.
Let's go!
Double O Nation, definitely. I mean, Furia, I think, in my opinion, has the best chance of all the Brazilian teams right now. That goes without saying. They've been playing at the top tier for a while. I think Art has really brought something dynamic to that team, especially has reinvented himself again within that aggressive sort of style. Lately. I think in Pro League, sure, they finished third in the group because Liquid was able to beat Cloud9.
Yep.
But I think they actually were the second best team in that group to Cloud9 in a lot of ways. And I genuinely think that they have a great chance of making it through to the playoffs of this entire major. But Double O Nation has to be one of the two favorites in terms of fanfare, with Imperial obviously and the Legends being there. I say Legends in terms of the legendary,
not
the romantic style, not the literal term. I've got to be careful with that one.
Not the stage of the tournament. Well, speaking of the Double O Nation boys, they need these last 2 rounds. They need some space. The second half to mount a comeback. 2 is not going to be enough. And again, limited by UT. 4 Galils, excuse me, on the board. And not really a whole lot of nades to work the map in any kind of fashion. This almost has to be, like, having this much control towards A ramp is phenomenal for them, but this has almost got to be like the execute point with what little nades they have.
Let's do this.
Flatcher looking for an angle and a place to get aggressive. He's going to leap to the ladder and work his way down. This could be massive if he's able to sneak in behind. They're looking for it though. They've got they've got a hunch. And Taco takes out one Flatcher. And this is something we have to talk about. The crowd's not saying anything specific. Just by but a lot of the younger players in this major are going to have to catch on quickly as to how to use that and lose against that. There's information you can take away and work it to your advantage.
Absolutely, part of the inexperience factor. Well, they're going back to the B-bomb site. 2 players defending. This is perfect for Bad News Eagles, but a missed shot. Still 1 more, but how much can Ceneri do? Not enough as Lado grabs the angle. Synopsy, they've got money. They can go for, I mean, he's going to have to go for this. He's not getting away. 1v3, drop by Lado. 3rd round for Double O Nation. That might have been, I like the play from Juan Flatro, and he's got a lot of confidence with the way he's been playing. In a 5v5, that might have been a bit early to go for that much of a play.
And again, I know they have great noise cancellation and whatnot. There's still ways you can feel the crowd, and you're going to hear a slight rumble, and you can immediately tell that they turn backwards. Okay, nothing's happening. We're not pushing anything. So why is the crowd getting hyped? Someone might be pushing us. And it's some of those situations where one Flatcher goes aggressive all the way. Sometimes you want to get aggressive and then stop and wait. And let the crowd be loud and just hold your angle because you've already got yourself somewhat close to the position. But again, this is something that's been common at LAN forever, and it's something that the inexperienced players are going to have to learn very quickly here in Rio. Because remember, this is just the challenger stage and the crowd's already this loud. Wait until we get to the main event.
Day 1, game 2. Oh, Rigon, it took him a second to really accept the fact that someone was on his screen. He gets the kill, try with the trade back. Into a 4-on-4 we go.
Taco's going to go gather the bomb and group with his teammates to try and make this work, though. More action and aggression from Synopsy. Another double from him. He may not have the most amount of frags, in fact, bottom of the scoreboard for his team, but when he gets one, it seems he always finds a second to complement it, and Taco trying to get aggressive. GXX is limited to just the pistol. Good read from Taco. You can run back up that ramp all you want, but he finds the off angle above the boxes instead, and it's one Flatro trying to get forward of utility and catch them out if they think they have access to the site. They do not.
He's done it, but Dumal's going to slow play this. I don't think Juan Flatro's going to expect it. Now the timer. He's got to look both directions. Oh, good headshot. Good spin, and can't find it. Taco, 3 kills in the round, and no more kill than this last one.
30 seconds, he goes for the bomb plant. Saneri gets inside of the smoke already. He's got both angles covered off. Saneri has it covered. Indeed, the shin shows, and it's enough to make this now a 12-3 half. They'll get the defuse, and they will diffuse the situation in the crowd as well, because they'll go silent once more, Jason.
Yeah, it's going to be halftime. We're going to take a break. Bad News Eagles, the good first half, 12-3, and we'll return to see the conclusion here on Vertigo.
Are number 1, 0-0 Nation are number 2. They've got a pair from the former SK Luminosity lineup that won those 2 majors in Taco and Cold, and they are going to be fighting for their lives in the arena.
I think our goal was just to qualify for this stage. For us, like we don't put too much expectations. We just want to build the team step by step. We don't want to put too much pressure on our shoulders, and at the end we're gonna regret this. So like for now, we just want just to keep step by step. We're just growing each match. We're gonna grow in something and just get more experience. But our goals is just to do our best and try to qualify.
To say that they could win the whole thing may be a little bit far-fetched. I'm not going to try to sell you a bridge, but there still is going to be hope for them to maybe get through the challenger stage with some of the teams that we didn't expect making it all the way to Legends. So the Bad News Eagles, a team hailing from Kosovo, looking to take flight here at the Rio Major. They made their first debut appearance at majors at the last one, at PGL Antwerp 2022. And what a show it was. You know, a lot of people were betting against them, and they honestly only impressed. But again, for a lot of these teams who are now repeats for 1 or 2 times, it can't be good enough to simply get out into the group stage. And we saw them play at the EU RMR. They were playing extremely hard the entire way through, and I think they are one of the teams to be feared here at Rio. So they've got a kind of a unique situation where they're one of the only teams that have bootstrapped their way into kind of creating an org for themselves and are looking for further support to maybe get picked up by some of the orgs that are interested in CS. And for that reason, I think you got to believe they're going to be trying their absolute hardest.
We've kind of been looking for new work, but we've not made it public as much as we should have, because it's been a really busy schedule for us, having all these tournaments every single day, new tournaments, and trying to prepare for everything, not catching a break, being exhausted all the time and everything. But we're still on our way to get a new org and establish as a team. We're not scared of anyone, pretty much. We're just gonna go in and play our game. There's a lot of good teams in here. We're looking forward to some really, really nice and close matches, I believe. But we're pretty confident that we're gonna make it somehow.
I think the major would not be would be the same without Fallen, Fair, Taco, Cold, and FNX. I think it's really nice to have them for sure. Gonna be cheering for them. I hope they're gonna cheer for us as well, and I hope both can qualify for the Legend stage. I think it's gonna be a special event. I think this event is not just for us as players, but for them. We won this so hard in the past, and we could got it now. And I wanna say thanks for everyone, thanks for yourself as well, to put this major in Rio. And I just wanna say for the Brazilian fans, for they enjoy and just have the best experience what they can have.
Well, being down 12-3 is probably not the best experience they can, and that's exactly what Cold Zero wants. Look, he knows that they are the underdogs in a lot of ways, that they are an inexperienced team, but as he said, don't put pressure on themselves. Yeah. That will apply itself in this situation, but if they stay true to that, there's a chance they can still work through this game in itself and the rest of this challenger stage. Cold Zero himself, though, does need to start getting some kills on the board.
Yeah, I mean, this is again another situation where the hometown favorites just complete backs against the wall. What a devastating first half to have to go through. Cold Zero with the dualies, looking for him. So many bullets, ready for Saneri to come through. It's an opening kill in the pistol round. One more. Taco, gushed, forced back. A lot of pressure being applied by Bad News Eagles. Synopsy's got a double, and there goes Taco. And what are you supposed to do if you're Try? Oh, just
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Give it a try. How about that? He can try all he wants. He's got two. GXX gets him down, but Cold Zero steps in, and here we go on the flag. Rigon's going to take him down, and that's going to close out the round 13-3. Cold thought he had one step ahead by dropping back out of the sight. Unfortunately, that's exactly where Rigon was waiting.
Yeah, hard to read that. Man, again, you mentioned in the first half, Synopsy, whenever you see his name come up on the board, there's another one to follow it.
Well, that's what blows me away, is because you press tab, and he's the bottom of the team. Like, when you see his name up there, you'd think he's killing everyone.
Yeah,
because
quality, not quantity.
Dude, it's instant doubles, like, every single time. He's like the untradeable player.
Well, that makes it real rough for Double O Nation. Makes it real difficult to get back into this.
Hey, look, they and 9Z both are in the same situation, and in some ways that'll be consolation for each of them. Guys, haha, laugh it off. Look, we're at home. We both had a rough start. We can both regroup from this, and they definitely need to look at it that way. GXX with a Molotov toward Try. That'll push him back up the ramp towards the A site.
Dumao waiting, Deagle in hand, misses the opportunity. One tag, Taco's got a FAMAS at the B bomb site, Try all alone at the A bomb site. The two defenders are split. Trying to recover a 2-on-4 scenario in middle has been compromised. Oh my lord, the timing on that is huge. Timing on that is everything.
So Try goes down, Taco gets through the smoke. He wants to sneak in behind, but this is going to be such a huge amount of kills for him to find and make anything of this. Bomb already planted as well. And Scenario straight around the corner. Wide side with a MAC-10. Taco never expected it.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? We're in a 4-on-1. Why even go for the plant right now? Let's make sure everything's secure. Let's not lose a single detail. Let's not lose track of a single player. 14-3. Timeouts taken from Double O Nation, but there's no good answer. There's no good decision in this situation.
Tough part is, and I understand what the crowd's trying to do, only be allowed for Double O Nation, therefore showing that they're only supporting that team. If I'm against a Brazilian team in this event, silence is the best sound I can hear.
Oh yeah.
So there's got to be an in-between with this crowd on when to rally themselves up, when to big up Double O Nation on stage, and when to try and sort of be bitter and get in the heads of the other team. Because right now, I'm loving this. If I'm Bad News Eagles and I hear nothing, perfect.
I think at this
Sit
point,
down, Brazil. We're in charge right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're Bad News Eagles, you might not even care about the crowd at this point. You're loving the scoreboard. You're just sat there like, oh, 14-3. I'm having a great day. And this has been trademark Bad News Eagles. Great individual skill, incredible individual performance from the players. No fear whatsoever, in your face at all times. Confident in every challenge. And they have really stumped Double O Nation.
Synopsy being aggressive again, pre-firing even. He'll take down Taco. He's looked away at the wrong time. Might get caught out here. There's a player to peek. Oh, okay, the smoke side. I thought they were going to actually push through it. I thought they were going to try and counter that off, but it's one flatcher, only good for one over the top. Rigon doubles. Cold Zero in a 1-on-4 this time. I was going to say they're all inside of the site, but there was one heading for a long flank. Doesn't matter. It's going to be that point already for Bad News Eagles.
Yeah, 12 of them, in fact. 12 chances to close this out.
Pumped full of lead in this game.
We saw Zach at the end of the 9Z game kind of telling his team, that's just game one. We've got plenty more chances to qualify through, plenty more chances to recover. It's going to have to be a similar conversation with Double O Nation when all is said and done here. But this one's very rough.
Lovely start, though, from Bad News Eagles, though. Synopsy looking for a setup. Support the flash through the roof to get his teammates in toward middle. That'll bounce off, cover off the left. Just gets around the big box. So throw it now, and then Scenario goes in. Tries too far back to be spotted, but Taco hears it. That gives him a chance down below. Had to aim up too far and try swinging around. Rigon had that cover. So now, it's just a 4-on-3.
Yeah, but Dumao's in a decent position to recover this. I don't think that they'll realize necessarily there's a player on the stairs. There's only actually one player in the bomb site. If Rigon goes down, Dumao has a chance.
Big kill from Cold then, because that'll put one flat show out of the rounds. And you're absolutely right. Dumao's going to go now.
Doesn't
Smoke. Yeah, well, it nearly did. I was going to say nearly got Rigon, but they close it. Cold Zero was found, and he cuts off the back of the site with that information. Bad News Eagles. have a good news morning because they just absolutely smoked Double O Nation in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, what a brilliant statement to make if you're Bad News coming into this, Bad News Eagles coming into this. You're showing we have no fear. We have all the confidence, and we are not going to be afraid of taking control of the situation. Huge map 1 victory here at IEM Rio for Bad News Eagles. We'll be back after the break with the next match.
Hey Future Pros, we are back with an advanced execute for your T-side on Inferno. For this execute, you will need 4 Future Pros along with 3 mollies, 3 flashes and 2 smokes. Let's break it down. Future Pro number 1. Your first job is to boost up Future Pro 4 onto the half wall. After that, get into this position and aim your crosshair above this point where the roof tiles combine. This molly will land and force out anyone playing first or second oranges. Then bank a flash off this window to blind anyone on site or in CT. This will allow you to get a quick smoke covering off CT spawn. And for good measure, lob this deep flash over CT spawn, which will further blind anyone playing on the site. Future Pro 2, you'll be smoking off coffins and also provide a supporting flash. To smoke coffins, get right up into this corner with the logs. Aim upward along the line of this fence and stop when you're at this line with this other fence post. This smoke will block off behind coffins. It is thrown this deep to discourage CTs from pushing through and hugging the side of the smoke, so be aware that someone still could be holding coffins. Alternatively, you can throw this smoke a little higher and coffins will be fully smoked off, but be wary of an aggressive CT. Finally, aim above these wires over the left of the plant pot. Walk forwards and throw the flash as you get to the second wire. This will provide a flash to blind anyone on the B site. Future Pro 3, you only have 1 molly to throw, so don't mess it up. Your molly will be to push out anyone who's playing new box. To do this molly, get up into this part of the wooden barrels, formerly known as car. Then aim at this part of the tile and jump throw. Now no one can play from new box, great! Future Pro 4, you also have an easy job. Once Future Pro 1 has boosted you onto the half wall, position yourself over this corner of the wall. Then aim at this gap in the trees and throw your molly. This will force anyone out of dark. If this execute is done correctly with the right timings, there should be literally nowhere for the CTs to stand apart from out into the open. But make sure you practice those timings, it really is all about timings.
Oh, just in time. Just in time, guys. Oh, Bad Eagle won that match. Of course. Of course they won. What the? 4-1? What a 4-1 do? What do you mean 4? Morpheus 4-1, what? Why I don't have the place all 9 picks per stage before it begins. I have done that right. Yeah, I already learned. I have already done that.
News Eagles wouldn't be able to prepare as much for them. You know, they kind of have to go blind because you can't really prepare a lot for when Zero Nation only played one game, right? So I think they tried it and they had a clear game plan throughout the whole game, which I guess we're going to talk about a little bit, and it just didn't pay off, yeah.
Yeah, Bad News Eagles just being incredibly proactive coming onto this map as well.
Yeah, I think the mindset from Bad News Eagles is the story, it's the talking point, it's what we have to focus on. They were so assertive, they were so courageous, so brave in looking for the information and grabbing map control away from 00 Nation. I think Juan Flatru kind of embodies this mindset what we were talking about. He had a bunch of multi-kills early on in the game who forced 00 Nation to be either always paranoid about you back or
which team do you think gonna win?
Yeah, I think the mindset here, some of the duels he's take in front of smokes, being pesky, being lurky, he embodied all that BNE needed early on, and he did a tremendous job.
Yeah, and I think that all, again, another IGL, right, who's stepping up and, you know, going for aggressive peaks and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, he was setting the pace of the game, not only him, but, like, I don't think that 00 Nation had an answer for the aggression coming out of Bad News Eagles. And even in the interview, we saw Taco talking about it, right, that they knew what they're facing against, they had a good game plan against it, they knew they were aggressive, but, yeah, it didn't show up on the server.
Do you want to give us some details as to what you kind of thought or were reading into what the game plan was for 00 Nation? Because you were saying there was a lot of fixation towards a particular side of the map.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think that the game plan from 00 Nation was to hit the B-bomb side. They tried that a couple times throughout the whole game. And the thing is, like, they had a clear game plan about it. And once you start failing, then it's kind of hard for you to, like, you know, guys, let's just completely scratch whatever we had in plan and let's just switch over towards the A-bomb side. And when, let's say, for example, you take a timeout and then you do that, it's so obvious for the other team to just, you know, oh, okay, they're losing so much on the side of the map that, you know, they're probably coming towards A now. And I think even after a timeout or something like that, they lost a round on the B-bomb side, and then I think it was even Bad News Eagle who took a timeout. And then right after this round, 00 Nation went to the B-bomb side again, and they lost again. You know, so it's so hard to, you know, like set the pace of the game when things like this happen. And I think, yeah, Bad News Eagle just played really well.
I don't really mind if you're gonna focus on the B side. If you're tackling, if you build that plan towards the B side, it's fine. But you at least have to grab some map control away from it. You at least have to do some presence on the A side. You have to trade a little bit. You have to keep BNE in the dark. It was so very clear early on, after 50 seconds of round max. BNE, if you communicate just a little bit, you're going to know what's happening. And we just had our M-Force Hem High. We had Hirigon as well up here because of the work he did on the A side. Anytime he was tested, was multi-kills from down the ramp to back on the A side as well. He was passive when he had to, aggressive when he had to. He locked down that entire map on his own. A was closed by Hirigon.
And a Swiss man after your own heart, Matthew, as well, hailing through a region. I do want to praise Bad News Eagles, especially what you were saying about